Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Hello, Queen Bee Vintage. Good morning and welcome. How's it going? Hello, Jessica. Good morning. Welcome in, welcome in. This is going to be a Resonators Round Table discussion. I don't know why. Oh, I don't know why that's not letting me do what I want to do. I always struggle with things, I tell you, early in the morning. Hmm. Oh, I see what I did. I started the wrong show. I started the wrong show. I'm gonna go back out and come back into the right show. Sorry about that. Guys, I started the wrong show. Okay. Hey Envy, welcome in. Good morning. You're up awfully early this fine day. Of course, so am I. I hope that you are very happy with your King's win. Calico Cat, welcome in. I figured you might be ecstatic today because I know that your team was playing. Hello, Sadie's. Good morning. I started the wrong show this morning. I started my Friday show today. So, starting out being Rochelle, as usual. So, this is a very, very casual show. It is going to be just resonators and anybody else who's interested, just talking resin and our community. Mostly about our community, but it's things that affect us. And it is that light is too bright for me. Too early. Oh, well, that's how it goes. I took my meds already, so I had to get a bite of something in my stomach so that I didn't feel yucky. So, breakfast bite in. Okay, guys. Um, so let's start. Let's just start wherever you guys want to. Let's. I never get up with enough time to eat. It's crazy. But let's just start with last night. First of all, thank you for everybody who joined in. Thank you to everybody who showed their wares. I was blown away. I don't know about you guys, but there was so much talent in the room last night. I was like, "Oh my God, I need to step my game up again." Because everybody was amazing. Did you not feel that? Sadie's, you did an amazing job on your first show. How did you feel about it? Tell me, tell me. Hello, Two Feathers. It's good to see you. Tell us how you felt about your show last night. And Calico, you did amazing. You were so joyful. I loved it. Hello, Junk. Welcome in. Very joyful. I love that so much. We are waiting for Sadie to respond back to us. I'm sure she's typing about how it felt to be on her first big raid train. So that's exciting. I am doing fantastic. I actually feel really good today. I woke up not in pain, which is very rare for me. So I'm ready. I'm ready to just kill this day. It was nerve-wracking. Yeah. Okay. So your first one is very scary. Like, am I going to push all the right buttons? Am I going to be able to rate on time? There's a few factors that are different than a regular show. However, you did it seamlessly. Personal feedback for you. One thing I really love is that you do a great introduction. Um, I love that you say who you are, what you do, how to find you. You are excellent at that. And that is something that I'm going to take away that I need to do better in my show. Like I just started straight up this morning. Hello, good morning. My name is Rochelle, also known as Basement Brats Art. I am a resin artist here on Whatnot. I started in 2021. Not only do I do resin, but I actually like to dabble in all sorts of arts and crafts. So you never know what you're going to see when you join a Basement Brats show. So I forgot to do that. And I need to get better about that. I need to put a sticky note up or something to introduce myself. I also noticed a lot of other people did not introduce themselves. I think that ah I think that we may have been doing introductions when we first open up the stream, like 5 minutes or 3 or 4 minutes before, and then we forget to redo it whenever the raid comes in. So that was one feedback that I did have for everybody, but I thought everything else went amazing last night. I mean, there was a few non-resin things that I love that. It was amazing. You actually, I there were several times where I was just like, my heart just leaped with joy, and I was laughing, not at you, but laughing because you brought me joy. So, be yourself, girl. If that's who you are and you're comfortable with it, I mean, it's a vibe, and I loved it. So, just be you, because that is just such a peaceful and amazing place to be. There was, a lot of new artists that were just super impressive, and I hope that we can encourage people along the path. Like, I could feel a lot of nerves, and I could see that as they went through their show and we started interacting with them and talking with them, they started to get more comfortable. So that is definitely one of the ways that the resonators can be a blessing to new artists. I don't know if I ran this, so I'm running it again. A blessing to new artists who are maybe doing their first raid train, or maybe they're uncomfortable with talking to the chat. That only comes with having people interact with you, right? So everybody knows that an empty stream is an uncomfortable stream. It's really hard. I know a lot of people look up and say, "Oh my gosh, look, there's only 4 people in this show today." You know what? If one person takes away something from my show, or one person buys in my selling shows, to me that's a successful show. That's being able to reach a new person, being able to have like a discussion with a new person, or even if it's just a person who's been there many, many times before, getting to do that check in. It's always great. So that helps to have that practice. And that's what these raid trains are all about. They are really about, hello, SJ, welcome in. That's what these raid trains were created for, not only to bring attention to the resin art as a whole, but also to help resin artists to become better and more comfortable sellers. So I think that goal in itself last night was really very successful. Really very successful. So welcome in Resin Mascara Mary, and welcome in Put. It's Put. I don't know. I always say your name wrong. Yes. There are so many incredible Mary, you are up super early. Yeah, me too. Me too. Always, always. And last night there was even more, like people really brought their big game in. I think that Kaden did a really good job on making sure that everybody was informed. And I think he did a really good job at also picking the theme, because he looked at all of our resonators and said, "What do people have in common?" And one of those is bling. This is why I like to send out other people to do these shows, because I don't really think of the bling, because that's not really my aesthetic. Do I create with it? Yes. But do I reach for the glitter every time? I usually don't. I usually go for more of like the solid colors, and I do like inclusions, but like it's genuinely not glitter that I go for. So when I was pulling things off the shelf last night to do a show, like I was like, "Oh, I only have like 7 or 8 items that have glitter in them." They've either sold, or I it's just not something that I have very much of on the shelf. So, like Mary, for instance, I'm sure it was easy for her to reach into her shelves and say, this is blingy, this is blingy, this is blingy, this is blingy. She could probably have done a show for 4.5 hours with just the bling that she has alone. Same for Susan. But I wouldn't have necessarily thought of that being a topic because it's not in my aesthetic. So bringing in new people and people who have different points of views and different levels of like creation, that is really super, like, to me it's super important to bring different vibes to all of our shows. Yeah, yeah. So, and I love to see people thrive. And I thought that he was definitely in his element last night. I loved not having to do the closing show. That was so good. um, and he really did, like, for me, it was a big stress relief. Um, all of the last 4 or 5 shows, it's been really great to have. I know it is early and I'm actually awake. I do need a bite of pudding though. So it's chat with the brat. It's coffee chat, but it's not really coffee. It's pudding and tea. So pudding and tea, guys. I'm sorry for eating. I know. Breakfast of champions. I just needed something quick. I just needed something quick and easy. So drink your coffee if you have it. Hold your little. I love the way people look when they're holding their coffee cup. They look so content. But I don't drink really very many hot drinks, so I think I'm just jealous of people getting to drink hot drinks. I just don't like them, but I like the look and the comfort that it looks like it's providing. I know I'm silly. So I was really proud of Caden. Of course, Midave, you did an amazing job too, and I love stepping back and letting people shine. I just love it. That's Izzy, are you holding the cup? I love it. So yeah, feedback. If does anybody have any feedback or anything that they noticed that maybe we can talk about in the chat and remind people? I like I said, I noticed the not introducing ourselves. Don't assume that people know you. And I think a lot of people were probably doing the introduction, but it happened behind the scenes whenever before the raid. So I'm just going to remind people about that. I felt like I didn't bring my A game either, to be honest with you. I asked for a shorter show. I did 10 minutes on my show, but I didn't create anything new for this one. Hey, Naughty, welcome in. I didn't create anything new for this one because I really need to thin down my shelves, and I am thinning down my shelves. You blacked out again. You did amazing. If that's you blacking out, then welcome to the Izzy show because you were fantastic. The sparkly jacket, I was loving it. I looked all through my closet. I said, "Do I not have anything sparkly?" Apparently, I did not. So you rewatched it. Are my titles still off on YouTube? I know. Resin Mascara Mary, she always brings the bling. Yeah, always. And she's always like super energetic and happy. And I love me a Mary show for sure. So I did have fun with my show. Um, the costume makes it easy to find. Yeah. Um, I need to go back in and fix that. There is a fix for it. I need to go in and fix it and then rename all of my shows, which is terrible. So when we do these shows, good morning. When we do these shows, we want people to feel comfortable, and we also want to push our regular resin artists who do these trains to the limit. So I think that's why Mary and I were feeling that difference in what we've done in the past to what we did this time, because maybe not creating for something makes us feel like, oh my gosh, like I didn't even create anything for this show. However, I also do appreciate not having to have created anything for this show because I want to get my inventory down. I did have products that already fit that. And I also, um, it also saves on money, right? You added a lot of rhinestones, so you just enhanced the pieces that you had. I should have done some of that for sure. But I also had a lot of fun. Even though I had a short show, I like to bring my A game in my personality and my attitude, and I want to always be an inspiration to you guys in bringing that energy to a train. Sometimes I know I'm way too much energy. I like when I have like somebody calm going after me because people are probably like, after 10 minutes with that woman, I need a break. I need a calm and mellow show. So it was fun. I had two very calm and mellow and very there is a shadow passing by my window and I'm on the second floor. I'm hoping it's the tree. I'm not up this early enough to see those shadows on my window very often, so it kind of scared me there. Oh my god, my house is haunted. So, yes, that's what I wanna do. I wanna bring my A game every time, and, if you give me a theme, I'm gonna go all out with it, and maybe that will inspire somebody to say, "You know what? I can truly be myself here. I can act the fool, or I can dress up if I wanna dress up. I can do funny makeup. I can do my hair. I can decorate my set. I can do all of the things and just be me," because, like, if you can have fun while you're running a show, you're going to find your people. You're going to find your people if you're just on there being yourself. And that does take time and it does take practice. Like, really, I started coming into being me on my shows probably about um April. April. So it took me from February to April to start feeling comfortable enough to really just be Rochelle. I was like, I have to be professional. I have to do all of these things. I have to run my show this certain way. I need to have this in my show. I need to have that on my show. Now, like, I just bring me. I try my best to be personable, um, but be honest and be real. So that's my advice to anybody who's new out there that's maybe not feeling comfortable on the screen. Just be you. Just be you. Thank you, Sadies. I appreciate you so much. You inspire me in your art. Oh my gosh, I love that wolf so much. Kate and I are going to throw blows. I'm just telling you now. We're going to throw blows over that one. If he gets it, I'm going to have to just visit him in Kansas City and just sneak it out his back window. That's what's going to happen. So, any other feedback from last night? Any other feedback? That was the introduction. Introducing yourselves is vital because people don't know who you are. He's near Kansas City. I think he's not far from it. He is in Kansas. Are they close together? I don't know. But I know him and Susan and Jennifer New are very close to each other. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad you found us. We're a crazy crew of people, I tell you. Yes, yes, it's hard. I love it. She's a fantastic seller. She also brings a great energy to all of the shows. So it's always good to follow Resin Mascara Mary because she brings in a crowd. And it's also great to go before Resin Mascara Mary because then you are not intimidated by how well she does a show and all of her amazing pieces. So yeah, that is Resin Mascara brings the show. And so does Calico Cat. She's always got the most blinged out and amazing products. You guys just blow me away. You just do. And Enzi, your stuff was also amazing last night. I loved it. I didn't think there was any seller that didn't just kill it last night. And even those new sellers that were very nervous, or maybe were struggling with their stream. I have to stay out of his shows. I either need to go in and put on a block for my selling. It was very hard for me last night. There were so many things in a lot of shows I really wanted. Who had the tiny little jars? I loved those tiny little jars, the little ones that um, she puts the lip balm in. I hope that is. I was wondering about that. I'm gonna have to go back in and ask her if it's food safe. But I still want a tiny jar. Does anybody remember whose they were? I should have taken better notes last night. Cheers to pudding, guys. Bondcrafter? Oh, Bondcrafter is supposed to be. You're right. The lip balm show. That was really good. I know she was a brand new seller. So there was a lot. And I always want to support new people, but I also only did one purchase last night, and it was I don't know if I got the right ones. Were those the little kitties that you put the paintbrushes on? Sadie's, I don't, if not, that's what I wanted to buy. Welcome in, Alyssa. I'm so broke right now. I wanted everything. I know. I know. I don't either. Every penny that I have is swooped up by the bill collectors the second I earn it. So, but I do need a paintbrush holder. And that's an investment in my business because I have been doing a lot of painting lately, and I leave my paintbrush all over the desk, and then I have to wind up cleaning the table off. Oh, that's so awesome. Todd is just amazing. Todd is like, he's in on the wolf pack, man. He is in on the wolf pack. As soon as I get that package, I'll be howling at you when you come in a room. Which, ow! Welcome into all of my wolf pack, by the way. I cannot wait to share your package with the chat. I can't. People are going to say, "Oh, he's very talented." Your first show is Friday night? Okay, I'm going to go in and I'm going to bookmark it right now so I don't forget, okay? I'm going to view your profile. And oh, Laser Crafts live show. Shop with me live on Whatnot. I love it. Okay, Todd, we got you bookmarked. Yes, you're in the wolf pack. You have 3 wolves. No, 2 wolves for sure. I know you have 2 wolves. So Sadie's is in the wolf pack because she donated an item. That's another way to get in the wolf pack. So that's, you either adopt a wolf or you donate items, and that's how you become a wolf pack member. So, yes, good. And Todd is doing exactly what we need to do. As not only as resonators, but as whatnot sellers, it's important to get out there and to interact with other people. Keeping their chat busy while they're selling is an important thing. Like, you can go into a big seller, and if their chat is moving so fast that you can't read and you can't participate in their show, that is how they wind up getting to be one of those premier shops. I don't want to be a premier shop because you do have to maintain a sale of, I think, like $5,000 a month or something like that. I know I will never be at that level. I mean, I'm not going to say never, but I won't do that in the handmade community. But what you can do is you can go into other chat rooms that maybe aren't as busy. Like, we have 10 people in here, right? I'm very interactive with my chat. And that actually builds your algorithm up. So if you go into Whatnot's homepage and you're searching for shows, there is a line about midway down that says shows with momentum. And those shows with momentum are created basically off of how that chat is moving. So there could be 4 or 5 people in the room, but if people are tapping the screen and people are engaged and talking in the chat, then that's going to show up on that main screen. It could take one person clicking into your stream to find that next buyer for you. So that is one way, even if we can't purchase right now, to go in and support each other is to go in and be active in their chat. Do you know why those big sellers always scream, "Put a W in the chat, guys. Put a W in the chat for this. Put a W in the chat." I tried it last night. I'm like, "Give so and so a hand. Let's drop some disco balls." The reason I'm doing that is because it will help to build the algorithm for that particular show and that particular artist to raise higher up to be seen. So if you are in a room, tap, talk, because it really matters. It really matters. So that's something that you can do to support without purchasing. And that helps them down the road to make connections with new buyers and to have a more interactive chat themselves. Because There are several people. I did catch a couple of people still not monitoring their chat. There were questions asked. There was stuff to be shown again. That's a big. That's a big. I don't want to say no, but that is a really good way to miss active sales. That's a really good way to actually get people turned off from being in your show. If somebody comes in, listen, when my show first starts, I do miss a lot of people welcoming people in because I usually, when I send out the brat chat, people come in pretty quickly and I miss them. Plus, I may be doing the introduction or something like that, or telling a special story. I will occasionally miss people, but for the most part, I try my best to welcome people in. And that helps. Okay. I don't know about you, but when I go into a show and somebody says, "Oh, welcome in, Basement Brats. I'm so glad you're here." I'm not going to leave that show for at least 5 or 10 minutes. I'm going to see what they have. They've interacted with me, they've greeted me. I now feel welcome into their chat and I want to see what's going on. So that's the kind of feeling and environment you want to create for your people. Plus, Caden is great at that. Plus, the other thing is you always want to make sure that you're answering their chat because you could be missing sales. And just having a mod and expecting your mod to say, "Oh, they're going to put in the red chat that somebody is asking about the purple balloon in the background." Okay. I don't know. It's early, guys. It's early. Words don't word in the morning. But maybe they're asking about that purple balloon in the background. And if they've asked once and they've asked twice and you've missed it, and your mod is saying, "Hey, run the purple balloon, run the purple balloon," they're going to get very frustrated very fast. Very fast. I cannot stand to not be answered on a question that is important. Like, I would have bought. Hey, I would have bought if you'd have been paying attention. So that is an important thing to do, is to make sure that you are paying attention to your chat. And if you do have a mod, if you're really bad at that and you do have a mod and you guys have a secret way of talking to each other that allows you to do that, great. But for the most part, you should be very interactive with your chat because it helps your algorithm. It helps build those communities, it helps build those relationships, and it brings you back other sellers. Welcome in, OG Barbie. OG Barbie, I love that. Are you the OG Barbie? I remember because my mom had the OG Barbie and she let me play with it, which was stupid because now it's worth a fortune. And of course I ruined it. So, yeah. Okay. Anything else on last night? Midove, anything that you saw? And don't eat on your stream. Sorry. But I took meds. I have to help myself. That was the blingiest tray. I have to say, I think that was the blingiest thing on the entire chat last night. That big pink rose with the highlighted, was that mica powder? You said it was mica powder, but that was the goldest mica powder I've ever seen. I know exactly which tray you're talking about. It is beautiful. Absolutely. Absolutely. So catch up with her. You better get it quick. She shows a lot. So that could be gone anywhere. Yes, absolutely. I have to tell you, my very first experience, my very first train, I was the first car out. The conductor did not go on before me. They did not rate into me. They did not really tell me what. This is my very first train. Did not share a whole lot of information beforehand. Now, I found out later on she had a lot going on in her personal life, but I was freaking out. I'm like, what do I do? Do I just go on? Do I just do a show? Like, how do I raid? It was terrifying for me. So I want to make sure that we create an environment where that isn't the case, that new people feel welcome, that we are interactive, that we're informative. That's where the Discord comes in. That's where discussions like this come in. Like, how can we always make things better? And you're right, Midave. Like, if you're so busy in your life that you can't be there for your train, then you shouldn't be running trains. However, that being said, I think if you share the wealth of what it means to run a train with other people surrounding you and you build a good team, then you have that luxury of being able to step away and being able to like go to the restroom or go and eat anything that you need to do, because our trains are long. They are very long, and it is very hard as a conductor to stay from beginning to end, especially when they start. Because of our time zones, we want to make sure that we have a good coverage of time from start to finish. So we want to get those East Coasters and allow them to go to bed at a decent time, but have the East Coast, but then have the West Coast be able to come in and show later in the evening. So for us, we are up until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So that gets very, very hard too, to be on like all of that time and have that energy and keep it up. So that is definitely a challenge in conducting. And if you share that with other people, like we always have three conductors, we have uniquely me, um, our co-conductor, and myself. So that way we can text each other, hey, I need to step away for a few minutes. I'll be back in. Or, I need to go and do this and I'll be back in. Unfortunately, last night, we all needed our time in this tiny little space of moments. My mom needed me, Kaden needed a break, and Uniquely was dealing with her kids. That was a tragedy. So thank God for Handcrafted by Susan, who stepped in and helped out during that time. So that was awesome. And again, having great mods who are available and are willing to step in, it's fantastic. Even if you don't have that little button beside you that says mod, just interacting with the chat and saying, oh, so and so's up next. If we're not there, there may be something we're trying to fix behind the scenes. And if you think something needs said, by all means, say it. That you don't have to have that mod button to be an interactive and supportive part of the chat. Speaking of building your rooms, that is a fantastic way to make friends and to support somebody if you don't have money, is go into their room and spend some time with them. Uniquely Me Resin is the best at this. She goes into a room and she will stay start to finish. 9 times out of 10, she stays start to finish. And she builds those relationships with people. I'm going to tag her, in fact. I'm going to tag her because if you guys don't know her or you're not currently her friend, you need to be. You need to be, because she is an amazing person, and she officially started the Resonators. She has been on the platform the longest, I think, for resin creators. I have to ask Art with Heart. She may have been here quite a while as well, but to my knowledge, Uniquely Me was the first person on Whatnot for resin, and she also has the big sellers know her by name. They know that she is the resin person. So without Uniquely Me, we wouldn't be here. If she hadn't been so welcoming to me in her first show, I would have I might have gone a different direction. I might have thought, "Oh, this is a competitive business. I don't want to come in and be friends with other resin people because they're my competition." I could have gone so many different ways. Like, that's not who I am as a person, but I could have felt like resonators were competition versus community. But yes, she is so welcoming, and she's also very good at becoming a mod in your show without the button next to her name. Like, she'll say hello to people coming in. She greets you very well. She talks to you. She's interactive in your chat. She loves your pieces. She's tapping on the screen. She is an excellent person to be an example for that. In fact, nerdy narwhal, she was nerdy at that time. She's in as naughty today. She has 2 channels. So impressive. But nerdy narwhal, I wanted to be her friend so bad because she's so funny. She's so fun. I love her shows. Guys, please bookmark and follow Naughty and Nerdy because she's so much fun. But it took me like I don't know, probably 4 or 5 months to build my relationship up with her because her chat is so fast, so interactive, and she's so busy. But I just kept showing up to her shows. I would mod whenever she needed something. Like I would just put a note up and say, "Hey, you missed a cell, or not missed a cell, but missed a question, or run this, or something along those lines." And eventually, like, we started interacting and we started talking about resin because at that time she wasn't showing a lot of resin pieces. She was mostly showing the scoops because the scoops were so popular, and that's where her money game was at that particular time. So it took time for me to build up that energy with her, and then eventually get her to join the resonators and to join our trains. And she is such a cool addition to our shows. Very excited that she's here. Same thing with Sadie's. It took me forever to we connected right away because I love her personality and I think she likes me. But it took me forever to get her to join because it can be intimidating. I think it sounds like sometimes when we come in, I'm like, hey, we're part of the big community of people who are resonators and we do all of this stuff and blah blah blah. We probably sound like an infomercial to get people to join our cult. We're not a cult. We're just a very organized group of sellers. But it can take some time to introduce people to who we are and what we do, and that's the same holds true as who we are as an artist and who we are as a shopper. Let me know when I'm back. Am I back? I had a stupid. It's always a telemarketer. And I can't close those off because sometimes my daughter calls me from odd numbers. Oh, thank you so much. She calls me from odd numbers, so I leave them on. Yes, absolutely. Laura, we will definitely send that to you. Let me write your name down because I sometimes will forget to do that after the fact. And Mary, you can always tag me. If you can't get me, then call out Simplify. Laura. Okay, I got you. I hate that our links expire. I'm going to see if Simplify can fix that. What is the Discord link? That is where we all have our discussions about our resin community. It's where we put our topics in for our raid trains. It's where we ask for resin help. And in fact, Friday, I'm so mad because I accidentally started my show that's supposed to be for Friday this morning. So let me see if I can. Yeah, no, it's not in there. It's not on my past shows. I have chats with the brat on Friday. I'm going to do it at 10 a.m. And I am going to be, what was it, a couple days ago? I'm going to be talking about the Discord. I'm going to be showing people how to access some of the things, going through some of our titles and telling you what this Discord was actually meant for, what this channel, or what is it called? They're not called channels. Somebody help me out here. What are they called? Like the train discussions. What is that one? Tabs, rooms, all of that sounds good, but it's not it. It may be channels. Let me see. Let me open up the Discord. That may be where I keep calling our regular shows channels. Discord. They are called channels. Okay, so they are called channels. We'll be discussing what all those channels are and how you can use them to find information. Yes, there's text channels and there's chat channels. You can actually go in and chat. You can actually go in and do shows, not selling, but you can actually go in and do shows like if you want to create um, a teaching topic, for instance. Uh, Euphoria's Emporium. She went in last Saturday or the Saturday before, and she did like a 6 or 7 hour show based off of eco resin. She tested all the eco resins she had bought, and she had like 7 or 8 different types. She is doing testing on how which one holds the paint better, which one is actually the strongest, which one is best for the amount of money that you get. How valuable is that to those of us who use Resincrete? Once she compiles her data, I'm going to ask her to actually, if she will, which I think she might, I'm going to ask her if she'll do a Resin 101 class on Resincrete, because that's just amazing. She's very scientific about her approach to resin and selling. So yes, yes, she does. She does a lot of that testing. And Nerdy, if you ask her something directly, like, I know right now she's just super, super busy. She's got a lot going on in her shows, which is fantastic. We all hope to be that busy someday. And she's also navigating moving. So she does have a lot going on right now, but she would be the perfect person to do like a demonstration on products or a little bit. I know. This is why I haven't bugged you, but it doesn't mean that I don't love you. And also, I've been trying to go to bed a little bit earlier, so I've been missing your shows, but I do really miss you in my life, my dear. So, um, that is maybe down the road we can get her to teach a class on, products, Amazon buying or shopping for things. So, reviewing, how important it is to review products. I know I need to go in right now, and I have so many purchases I need to review. But she could probably do a little bit of that chat for us. Let's see. That's what we're doing on Friday. I accidentally deleted my show because I actually started the wrong show this morning. I'm a morning person. UV resin, yeah. I am not the one to ask about UV resin because I really don't like using UV resin very much. But I do have to say, I did find a UV resin that I like better than any other that I've ever had, and I appreciate it a little bit more. So I think that I was just, even though I was saving money and I thought it worked really good, I thought it worked really good till I found one that actually worked really good. So I'm saving up and I want to get another big bottle of the one from the Resonators. I said Resonators. I think it's it's not Resonators. It's Resoners. I love this one. I absolutely love this one. It has been so crystal clear. It dries very, very quickly and clear, very little bubbles, and also it doesn't crack or break when you do the edges. So she has helped me as well. She has helped me as well on that same thing because I just never liked UV resin. The smell, the the inability to cure it correctly. So yeah, it is a very good brand. I don't know how it is expensive wise. So I have, yeah, you should hate it. You should definitely hate it. Um, and I hate that for you because it is a product that we need to use. It's a necessity almost, especially in a fast-paced world of selling like we have it. Um, the Litz Resin High Viscosity. Yeah, that one's probably great too for doming and stuff. So it's almost necessary when we're fast paced creating like this because yes, we have the curing machine and it takes 2 hours to do that. But if you want to dome it in two-part resin, first of all, two-part resin is more um it has less viscosity, so it's going to move when it heats up. So using it to dome, nearly impossible. It can be done, but nearly impossible. And then you're going to have to put it back in the curing machine for another 2 hours. You're talking about 4 hours of electricity to cure that. So you do need UV resin in this fast-paced selling world to dome your things. It's just a necessity. It's great for fixing things. You can't use two-part epoxy to fix holes or crevices or bubbles. You've got to use it. So you've got it. You've got it. In fact, I will drink my sweet tea to that notion. I do love me a margarita, even if it doesn't have the alcohol. Yes, for sure. Yes. Okay, so let's talk about what's up and coming. Ooh, yes, a Bloody Mary is the thing for breakfast, for sure. We have this restaurant here in Knoxville called Aretha Frankenstein. It is a breakfast joint, and they do the most amazing breakfast margarita or Bloody Mary. Um, that is just delicious with your pancakes. So I get mine without the alcohol because I can't wake up and drink. I'm maybe one or two a month, and I really don't even need that. But the I do like a Bloody Mary every now and then, even without the alcohol, because it's just yummy. All right, let's talk about up and coming shows. We have a lot of things happening in the Resonator community. First of all, Friday will be Chats with a Brat. I will put that show back up if you guys want to bookmark it. Now that I unfortunately started that show like a dingbat. Okay, thank you. Thanks for stopping in. Bacon. Oh my goodness. That's a new twist. I do love me some bacon though. This fat girl loves bacon. I mean, I'm just saying. Okay, Chats with the Brat will be on the Discord. Listen, I am no expert on Discord. All I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to break down our Resonator Discord so that you guys can learn a little bit more about it, maybe feel a little bit more comfortable about it, and know like we're going to do some etiquette, and then know like where in the Discord to find things. So I do my best to try and keep it cleaned up, moving things around. So get it to be, where it's easy to find stuff. And I'm still learning. I'm still learning as well. Bacon vodka. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yes, bacon. We should call ourselves the Baconators. I'm just kidding. I'm sure that we have vegan friends. Height Normal Design is definitely vegetarian, so that would be awful. Um, oh, that does sound fantastic. This is why I'm a fat kid. I may someday be skinny, but I will always be a fat kid at heart. So that will be tomorrow at 10 a.m. or that's 10 a.m. my time, so 9 a.m. Central, Pacific Coast time. It's 7 o'clock. Sorry, it's 7 o'clock. That's really early. But we need a channel. Just we'll call it the Baconators and just talk about food. What'd you have for lunch? What are you eating? We have a collab channel in it right now that is not collaboration, but it's other crafts. But I'm open to that. I'm very open to that because I really love collaborating with other artists. I've done that with oh, nerdy, I don't think you've seen this. You're always going to be nerdy to me. Um, she sent me some pieces and she's like, "This is a challenge piece." This is a piece that I got from Nerdy that I finished. You are nerdy right now. I love it. So I love collaborating. And, whenever I come in and I show this piece, I always say, this is a nerdy piece. If you want this, you can go to her and you can buy this. Right. And I love that black and gold. Yeah, this is how it started out, guys. And I love the aesthetic of this. I love so much. Oh, there you go. See, that's perfect. I am we laughed, my daughter and I laughed so hard that he actually wrapped a freaking hot Cheeto. That was the best. That was the best. So collaborations are great because it does two things. One, it gives you access to a new mold or a new product that you may not have had. Thank you. I love it's just dark, but yet just enough to be pretty. A dark piece, but just enough to be, oh, ice sparkly. I should have shown that one last night. But yeah, collaborations are great. It gives you access to a new product that you may not have or may not want to make, or maybe don't have the skill set to make if you're relatively new, or honestly just don't want to make. Like there are things that I just don't want to make that somebody else makes that I could do, like the nameplate. I don't have that mold, but I want to support my friend, Uniquely Me, and I want to give her that business, but also I don't want to make that piece. I hate using the Cricut. So I was very pleased to have that product for her. And now, unfortunately, it fell behind the desk. It's in the abyss. I have to clean my room to get to it. Yes, yes. One can bore and one can collaborate. I absolutely love that. And I think starting a channel is a brilliant idea, EJ, a brilliant. So I will make that happen today. So I'm actually collaborating right now with Jennifer New. I'm waiting for pieces to be finished and done with her, and I have a piece coming from Euphoria's Emporium. I have, I have pieces that I have in mind that I know that others can do for me that I'm very excited about. So why not support them? Be able to shout them out on your channel, and then also be able to. They're dead too. That is true. I do need my nameplate though. I use it in most of my photos, and it hasn't been in there, and my photos have felt a little naked. So it's a great way. It's a great thing. It's a great thing. It's good business for all of us to collaborate. Um, it's just a good business, and also it's good for building relationships. It's just it's just good. Okay, you can't go wrong with it. Oh, if I tell you, I'm just kidding. So I have this, I'll tell you one of them. I can tell you one, but not the other, because the other one's a surprise. You know, I keep my baddies under wrap until we're done with them. But I broke this one unmolding it. Oh, there's butts on the screen and it's early morning, so let me cover those. um Yes, I love that. So I broke this a long time ago and I want to do an Adam and Eve piece. I've always wanted to do an Adam and Eve piece with this. And you know what I don't do is clay. I don't do the clay stuff. So she is building me an apple to so I can finish off this piece. So she's making me a bright red, shiny apple that they were tempted by. So I can't wait to get those pieces and to finish that. So yeah, playing on people's talents that I don't have. It's gonna be fun. And then she's doing something for a baddie for me. I can't remember what. I'm gonna have to go back in and ask her, like, what are you making for me? Because I can't remember. You can send a little naughty. I thought of your little naughty apple, but it's too big. It has to be half, like a third of the size. That is definitely would be temptation for Adam for morning. Let me know when I'm back. Oh, you do have one bead size. Am I back yet? Okay. These guys wake me up. They start at 7:30, 8 o'clock every day, and it's always the same thing over and over and over again. And I sleep in the mornings. Like I'm a night owl, so sleeping in the mornings is a luxury. But man, they start early. Ugh. Most of it's like vacation stuff and cars and wanting to buy my house. I'm like, please. Okay, up and coming things. Chats with the Brat tomorrow at 10 Eastern time, 9 Central. And then we have on Tuesday, we have the exhibition. Very excited about this exhibition because it's going to give us that opportunity to choose from the group the items that will be seen in the artisans showcase. And the artisan showcase is where the big handmade community has the opportunity to see how resin art can be made functional and maybe used in other shows. So I'm hoping this will open the door for us to be able to do business with other people. I told people go into other shows and see what is it you can provide. If you're in an artist show, say, hey, I make easels that you can show your art pieces on. Hit me up. I'd love to make some with your name on them. Okay. And then stop and send them a picture. If you're in the bead world and you see somebody who is like holding their beads like this and trying to show beads, you can say, hey, I make bead trays and I would love to show you a few examples of that. And then just don't say any more than that unless they engage with you, and then drop them a picture of a tray and say, and this can be personalized for you. There's so many things that we can do that can appeal to other sellers on Whatnot that could be a real way for you to make money. I know that Calico Cat Resin Art actually wound up in the pin categories because she was selling beads and trays to the bead people. That's how she was able to build her initial resin business, was based off of trays, if I'm not mistaken. So you never know when you're going to make that connection. Another friend of ours, Height Normal Designs, she wound up in a Yu-Gi-Oh room one night and she made a Yu-Gi-Oh piece. And the next thing you know, she had a ton of um, uh, what is it when this word is escaping me, which is so silly right now. What is the word for when you make something special? Customized. She had a bunch of customized orders within a couple of days on Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. Welcome in Logie and welcome in Ash. We're so glad you're here. So you never know when you're going to be able to appeal to another artist or another seller on the app. Plus, this is our way into the handmade community because I think a lot of us don't participate in a lot of that. I know Mirave does. I think um, I know I've participated in some of this stuff. There's somebody else, Little Donna participates with them, but there's a whole handmade community market out there that you can do shows on Friday with their tags. You can do showcases where you're creating in their thumbnail. So we're going to be able to be introduced to that group as one of the handmade groups. Plus, they're very excited about the community we've been able to produce here in the resonators. So we're catching some attention, guys, and that makes me happy. That makes me happy. So this one on May 19th, this is a big deal. This is a great exhibition to show us how we can relate to non-resin people. It's going to be an introduction to a lot of people who maybe haven't thought of resin art as anything other than skulls or frogs. So yeah, I've kept myself pretty busy, and I think now that they're on Fridays and I'm clearing up my schedule on Fridays, I might be able to participate in a few. So it's very difficult to maintain your own shows and add new shows in. So but there's a lot of new people that are also going to be introduced to the handmade community that can really help not only us as a group, because they're going to go in and they're going to be like, I'm part of this group, I'm part of the Resonators, and this is what we do. And so it's a good way for us to be introduced into the handmade world a little bit deeper, by having people who can participate on those days. Because I'd like to see us have a bigger presence in the handmade community. I just can't do it because I'm busy. So look that up, guys. Follow Custom Wood Burning. I would tag her, but I think it's really early for her, and she works nights. But she has raided into several of our raid trains recently. So when I say, guys, go follow her, she is the representation for the handmade community to Whatnot. She takes suggestions to them. They ask for her feedback. She's very important to us. So she did ask them several times to also make us a category. So I'm very thankful to her for that. All right, so that is Tuesday, May 19th. That is the resin exhibition. Even if you're not participating, if you can stop in and do all the things we talked about this morning, tap screens, be interactive, show up, and since we're showing to a whole new group of people, pop in and say Resonators Unite. Um, Pop in and say hello, Resonator, or something. Bring that name in so that people know that they have a big supportive community behind them. I am going to ask for some of us to do booster raids. Maybe we do booster raids halfway through, like, you know, maybe you're 4 or 5 people down in the list. You could pop a show in, do a build your room up, and then drop those into the cellar before you, or drop them into the cellar, you know, 2 people before you. I think that would just be good that we have that showing of how much support our community really is. All right, so we have that. We also are going to be doing a booster raid for Ray of Sunshine, who is the sweetest seller. She had a family member pass away, and so she has gone to be with her family, which is exactly what she should do. But we want to show her support. Thank you so much, Todd. We want to show her support, and we also want to boost her sales because she's not working for these few days that she's off. So as soon as she has a show put up, and I'm going to go look today, I will set up a booster raid. A booster raid is when you set up a show before their show and then you drop your people into them. You just come on and you say, hey, we're here today. Like the last one was a birthday party. Hey, we're here today to do a booster raid for so and so. It's her birthday. We want to just have a good showing. By the way, she's giving away $20 gift cards, which she was. So stick around, tap the screen, love on people. By the way, how's everybody doing? You get to talk with your chat and the people who come into your listing, which if you don't have a listing like the one that's pinned below, you need one. You need one to let your people know that you are on. They are asking and they are getting rid of going in manually and getting rid of those that have a very high price tag on it. So if you have $900,000 on there, they might delete your thing. They do not want ghost listings. It's very clear in their terms of service that the listing must reflect what somebody will get whenever they purchase that item. Also, so you should be describing it on screen. So if you have $999,000 on there and somebody swipes, you're going to do a couple of things. One, it is going to alert their credit card of a fraud. If they have a good credit card company or they have a good debit company or bank, it is going to flag that thing for fraud, which can take days to clear up. So please don't do that, guys. I know it's a common practice on here, but it is also not a good practice. I have $1 on mine. I don't know how many bookmarks I currently have on that. Let's go in and look. I have 36 on there. Okay. I have 36. That's about my usual amount of people that come in. And yeah, and I just tell them, "Hey guys, bookmark that down below. And if you do you don't have to purchase that, but if you do, I'm going to send you some really cool stickers." Yeah. But if you have a product assigned to it and they're going to get that product, that's reasonable. But those people who have that on there, it can actually cause some problems. And then they're not going to be able to purchase from you. And then think about the drama that you're going to cause them. There you go. There you go. Think of the drama that you can cause them whenever you lock up their card, or God forbid they actually have a limit to what your purchase is and it takes all of their money and then you have to refund. It's just not a good practice. And I think a lot of people just don't realize that. But terms of service are very important. And Chats with a Brat is going to be breaking down terms of service and reading them. I got that idea from Custom Wood Burning. She does that every Tuesday. She picks a topic, she reads the terms of service, she goes through it. And you feel more informed about the platform you are selling on. I know a lot of us have not read terms of service. I have not read them start to finish. So I want to read them start to finish because I want to do things the right way. I want to be an informed seller who is doing things correctly on the platform because I value this platform. I do not want to get banned for doing something that I did not educate myself in doing. So I thought it would be good if Brats with a Chat did that. And it gives me that opportunity to learn too, because I always learn better when I'm teaching. So those will be upcoming topics that we are talking about. There's a lot of things that do actually impact the resin community. For instance, do you guys know that you should not be selling the brass knuckles and calling them protective devices or personal safety or anything like that because they're not allowed. Definitely don't call them brass knuckles. They are not allowed. So little things like that you need to know. I was selling knives. They were for the wolf pack. But I found out by reading terms of service one day that you cannot sell knives unless you are specifically in one of 4 different categories. So I would have to list my show under knives or camping or hardware or whatever the other one was before I could actually be selling those knives. Hey, Crafty, welcome in. And ow! So it's important. It's important that we know what we're doing. And Mary, you got to get in the habit of pinning that thing. Just go in every time and let people know because we want to know when you're on. You don't have a real consistent schedule, and a lot of us would definitely pop in more if we knew that you were there. So yeah, hit that, pin it, do whatever you need to do. Make a list. This is what I'm going to be doing. Make a list. And I did post my other PDF, but I screwed it up and I have to redo it. But I want to do a checklist for everything that you need to do to start a show. Check your lighting, check your cameras, wipe your camera down. For the love of God, why do I do it every time I come on live? And I wait to see my fuzzy face before I do it, which is annoying. Um, I want a checklist that says these are all the things you need to do. Pin your listing, set out your pieces, things that will make you going live be more successful. Art with a Heart, welcome in. We were talking about you this morning, not in a bad way. I'm gonna toast. I'm gonna toast you with pudding. Welcome in, both Crafty and Art with Heart. I had pudding in your honor. Okay. We were asking, I think you've been on the platform probably a long time. I was just wondering how long you've been on. 3+ years. That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. So I think you and Uniquely Me Resin might be 2 of the people who have been here the longest. So you paved the path for us, and we are very thankful for that. Very thankful. So that's what we were talking about. Just so you know, it wasn't anything bad. We were breaking down and talking about last night and how amazing it was. And we're also talking about up and coming things. But I think a checklist would be great. And I may start a discussion under, I don't want to do a poll, but I want to do a discussion on that. What would be the best place to do that? Maybe I'll start a channel called Show Success. And maybe we can share things that are successful with other sellers that we've tried. Maybe there's a new technique or something out there that, like, the promotion cards, I disagree with them, but people offering to pay for promotions, that's been successful for some people. I personally don't think that's for me. I don't want to have to pay somebody to shout out my name. I'm just going to shout it out myself and save my money. But let's just say that there is something out there that we run across that is successful. And I think I will start that. And the first topic of discussion would be, hey, what do you find helps you set up a show to be successful? And then I'll create a PDF and put it in there and you guys can use it or not. That way there's a checklist. I have checklists that I find very helpful, and I was going to share them with the chat, and then I accidentally shrunk them and they're too small. But this is basically what they are. And I do use them. These are all shows I have up and coming, but I do use them for my raid trains. I just stop, fill out the information when I'm actually setting up the show. And yeah, that's awesome. We would love to have you. Maybe you can be a special guest on our show. We're going to do Brats with the Chats with the Brat is going to actually be that. And then I have my calendar where I write everything down because I am terrible about keeping a schedule for my entire life. But I'm good about actually putting my shows in because there's a share button on your actual show that says share to calendar, and it actually does share to my Google Calendar. So I sit down about once a week. I fill out my train checklists, and they have all the rules and everything that I need to do to be successful in that. And then I think ahead. I plan out my week. Okay, I have the body parts show coming up. What do I have enough pieces to actually make it through that raid train? Do I need to create for that? What am I going to do? What is my costume going to be? How am I going to make this the best theme and show possible? So those are all things that I do with the that checklist. So I think having a checklist for me would be a good idea. And it doesn't have to be something you use every show. I mean, it should be something you use every show, but it doesn't have to be something that you print out more than once. You could have it beside you and laminate it and use a dry erase marker to check off, hey, I did that, I did that, I did that, I did that. Okay, good deal. We're good. And that would include pinning your show and cleaning your screen, setting out your inventory, whatever it is. Hi, Kaylin, welcome in. There you go. Perfect opportunity. And I'm sure I already learned from Art with a Heart. The shipping stuff that you shared the other day about USPS boxes, I did know about them. But I didn't know you could order them online. I've been getting them in the store, and of course they're not the size that I need. But yeah, I'm so confused on shipping. Still, I've been doing this a year. I got a package back last night for the second time and just wanted to cry. I really wanted to cry. And I don't think it was my mistake this time, but we can all learn and do stuff. We do need to find somebody who will come in and do a specific shipping show for us. I'm going to do one of unpacking your items. Um, that will show specifically packing resin items. So I would love to have feedback or a co-host on that one. That would be great. I know, I need to. The thing of it is I went to the actual post office desk because I got it back the first time. I said, "What is wrong with this package? What did I do that was not correct?" And what I had done is I used a flat rate box, which first of all did not know that there was a difference between flat rate and priority boxes. There is a difference. If y'all don't know that, learn from my mistake. You cannot put anything under 5 pounds in a priority box. I mean, excuse me, in a flat rate box. That's what they told me. And because I went in and changed the dimensions and put in the actual weight, they rejected it, put a $15 charge on it, even though it was underweight. It was 2 pounds. I don't understand that philosophy at all. But because I actually did what you're supposed to do and change the dimensions on that and the weight, I got screwed up. It is. Yeah. The flat rate box is a specific box. Yes. Yes. And I didn't know that there was a difference between a priority box and a flat rate. Exactly. Well, they rejected it and I had to pay um well, they wanted me to pay $11. It had $11 that it said it owed on there. So I took that out and I did another one and I went to the actual I took the box. I went up to the desk. I said, "What is the best way to ship this so that I make sure that it gets to her?" They gave me the directions. I did it step by step. They checked it, they weighed it, they did everything they were supposed to do. I said, "Are we sure this is good?" I got it back yesterday. I got it back owing $15.08 of postage. I was livid. I would love that. Yes, who is your shipping guru? I use D Archivist. I will, because I'm sick over it. And of course it's one of my favorite sellers. Nurse Beck. Okay. I can add her to our we have a list of actual, I think it's under Resin Help. We have a list of approved seller chat shows because not all seller chat shows are created alike. There is a lot of misinformation out there. There are people who say, don't do this, do that. So you want to make sure that you're getting visuals is another good one. Make sure you're getting, especially on shipping, because she has worked for the post office. Um, oh, see, I mean, but that's a good resource. That's a great resource. Good to know. Um, they're not letting us choose the non-flat rate priority box. Shipping just confuses the crapola out of me. It really does. So that's something that we have. I would love to do that. Are you free, Art with Heart, tomorrow? Not tomorrow, next Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, which might be too early. Because I think shipping show should be sooner rather than later. So I have a saying. If you love me, buy from me and support me. If you hate me, buy from me and make me ship. Let's see if that's 522. Yes, 522. To a drop later, to a time later, like not 7 a.m. So you're on the West Coast. Got you. Okay, so yeah, absolutely. So I can go live at 10, do a discussion, and is 8 o'clock too early for you? I could also start that one a little later. You can do 8. Would that be okay? Because I can always find other topics to discuss, and we can fill that hour with Resonator Business. Or again, maybe I'll do the packing show. That's what we'll do. I'll do how to pack a resin item I'll also get feedback from the chat on this, how you do this, how you've been successful in wrapping, to make sure that like we're talking about packing them correctly. Okay. All right. So we are going to do shipping and packing resin items. And then we'll also get wrap it like a football, bubble wrap it, and then wrap it again in tape. I know I am I do wrap mine in cellophane paper because it does it keeps the bubble wrap protecting around it. But I do 3 layers of wrap. So luckily I've had one piece break. Um yes, please, need shipping help. Me too. I've only had one item break, and I've had a couple of things that due to heat. I'm still learning to attach resin to resin without using UV resin. Um, I'm getting better about the way that I'm putting the wings on my angels, but I have had wings pop off on two of my pieces. So I'm now wire wrapping them, gluing them, and dealing with that. So now they are not popping off. But yeah, I've only had in a year of shipping, I've only had 3 things and one thing break, only one thing break that I'm aware of. So hopefully I'm not an expert, but hopefully I am helping somebody else who may have issues with wrapping. And also with you guys in the chat saying, I've used this, I've done this, this works. You could do this, you could do that. It's also only going to help me and make me a better wrapper as well. Not that kind of rap, right? I'm just kidding. White girls can't rap. Okay. So we have that on Friday. Friday is okay. All right. That would be great. You're definitely becoming an expert. I love that. And thank you, Art with Heart. That is awesome. That is awesome. I'm adding an A in there. Art with Heart. Sorry. I almost named our group Art with a Heart. So I'm very glad I went, because we also do mental health awareness and donate to mental health. Not as frequently as we should, because most of my sales do go to the Paul Clayton Wolf Pack right now. But we also were started based off of mental illness. My daughter has a traumatic brain injury, and it totally changed our life. And we created the therapy room and our business to help her to have an outlet for that, um, to have art therapy. And then it wound up being therapy for me. I no longer want to kill people. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, guys. Don't report me, okay? So totally changed the focus of our life. Very, very life changing stuff. So then, okay, so we have this Friday is the 15th, so May 15th at 7 a.m. for the West Coast. Sorry, guys, because I do have obligations to my family that I have to do on Fridays. I can do 10 a.m., but we're going to talk about this coming Friday. We're going to break down Discord, but don't fret. It will be on YouTube if you want to watch later. Okay. Um, we're going to break down the Discord, how and where you find things in Discord. Then on May 26th, we have Resin 101. I'm excited about this class. It is going to be held by Lions and Stars. She is going to be doing inking your resin pieces, which I'm excited about because this was one of my first attempts at inking. Look how terrible that is. This was a fail. This was a total, what the hell was I thinking? And I'm getting better at it. This is that same one today. This is the same one today. I know, this little foot is so stinking cute. So there's a big difference in how I'm inking. I've still got cleanup on this one, I see. Still got a little bit of cleanup. So she's going to be teaching us how to ink our resin and all sorts of different ways. She has a ton of ways to ink her type of specific molds, which are those that have, let me pull one out of my, oh God. I actually have that mold right here. Don't look at my butt, guys. Definitely need to clean this mold. So any of the molds that have like crevices like this that you want to do two-tone colors, there's, get out of there, resin. There is a ton of ways to do this. A ton of ways. You can ink it before, you can ink it after, you can use mica, you can use acrylic paints, she's going to talk us through all of that, which is great. But here's another thing that she did. She also has created a mold just for the resonators. It is a cute little, I think it's about maybe a little bit, maybe this inner circle. It's about this size, maybe in the middle. I don't know exact size, but it's this size-ish, and it has the resonators in the middle. So it's the perfect piece to actually work with while she's teaching. So you can get your exclusive resonator piece off of her website. And she does shows on Friday if you want to catch her for that as well. Yes, she came up with a design and I was like, absolutely, because it's not just it doesn't have anything in it that is specific to any way that people create with resin. It's just the resonator logo or resonator name, and then it's kind of drippy. So, resin's runny. It's perfect. It's perfect. So we're going to learn how to ink that. It's at Lions and Stars. Let me put her in here. I said at. Isn't that funny? That's almost like saying LOL. Ah. Is it A&D? I think it is A&D. There we go. Lions and Stars. So you can go and get your resonator piece, which is really cool too, because, you can have that in the background of your show, prop it up with one of your little doohickeys. It can be in your photographs if you want. It's just a thing of pride for us to also have that we're part of the resonators. And she's selling it at a very, very discounted price. Okay. She uses high quality silicone. I mean, guys, these are high quality, and they can be baked. So you can use them with clay. They can be put in your curing ovens. They're just very, very high quality. So I'm excited to get my resonators one. And she's doing it at a discounted price because she actually creates the negative. Or is it the positive? I don't know. She 3D prints the actual piece, and then she actually creates the molds. So she's doing that at a very discounted price for us. So very exciting. That is on the 26th, and you guys can find that on my website. I will do the kickoff, and then I will send all of the people into her show. That way, we want to be consistent with where do you find these shows. You guys always know you can come to my site, and I want to also pay tribute and introduce our guests instead of just saying, hey, go to her site or go to her site or go to his site. I get to come in and get to say, this is Lions and Stars. This is what she does. We're excited to have her here tonight. I will do a booster raid, get everybody in, and then we will send them into her show, and then you guys will have that availability. So you can always find the Resonator 101s, the resin exhibitions, the Resonator Roundtable, You will always find those on my shows. And Chats with a Brat, that's a personal thing I'm doing. That's not a Resonator experience. That's just something that I'm doing to help out. But this week's topic is going to be a specific Resonator discussion, because I think we really need to talk about the Discord. All right. So then we will be, I guess that is, and then 5/22, we will have a packing and shipping show. So that's what's up and coming. That's what's up and coming. And Caden was supposed to be here this morning. I have a feeling that he is sleeping in. So I am going to just tag him. That little cutie patootie with him and his, it's got to be a brother. The reason I am tagging him is because Caden has also created for us something cool. It is not just Resonator specific, but it is also, you can moderate next Tuesday. That would be fantastic. I would love that. So he has created for us a handbook for starting a show. So it's letter. He has a letter from the author. He has a step-by-step guide on how to, step-by-step guide to selling on Whatnot. And this is setting up your shows. So this is awesome. And he has done a fantastic job of putting this thing together. So what he is going to be doing is I think what he's going to be doing is he's actually going to be doing a class on it. So he will go with you. The guide will be included in the class, and you will go step by step through how he's talking about all the things that he talked about in the show that he did prior to the raid. How do you set up your show? What buttons do you press? Why is this category important? What does it mean by selecting free pickup? Like, all of those things are discussed in this guide. It is 16 pages. It is got links to Whatnot seller chat, which is awesome. It has links to certain terms and conditions. I love it. He's done a fantastic job with it. So I was going to launch that for him today. That was one of the reasons why we did the chats with the brat this morning. I mean, the Resonator roundtable this morning. So, but I think he's overslept, and that's fine. We'll let him sleep. He definitely has earned that privilege. I got to do another shot of pudding here. I take morning meds, and I have to eat with them. So pudding it was this morning. Okay. All right. I don't have anything else unless you guys have anything else. Just my main feedback from last night. Um, make sure you introduce yourself. Not everybody knows you. Did I get pudding on my face? I think I might have. You know what it is? Okay, that's so much better. My viewing on my camera was set to low light. I could hardly see. Make sure you're introducing yourself. Make sure that you are showing your pieces in the best light, and make sure your volume is good. There were a few people that I had trouble hearing last night, and I think that there must have been some setting, because the next person would be very loud, but some people would be very muted. One way that happens is if you're putting your phone on your holding device. I have one of those that covers the microphone if you don't have it in there perfect. And Crafty and Simplify are so good about telling me, we cannot hear you. Yeah, and I didn't hear any music last night, honestly. Did I miss any music? Because I just didn't hear any last night. Yes, I don't have any problems giving you constructive feedback. And I didn't see anything really last night. Really. I mean, there were new people challenges, but that's exactly what this train was for. This train was not only meant to highlight the resin community and to provide a place for us to all meet each other, show our art, and do that, but it was also meant to be a safe place for new people to come on and learn to do a train. When you listen to it back, I actually have that note on here to tell people to watch their show back. Thank you. I appreciate feedback as well. Um, and I never do it out of, "Oh my god, you did this wrong." I always want to come from a place of, "I think this would help your show." Um, if you get feedback from people you trust, then those little tweaks that you can make only make you a better seller. I do have people who watch my shows. I've asked them to watch my shows for me and they give me feedback and I've learned from it. So, um introducing ourselves, watch your show back and check your sound, see what it is that you need to do and check your lighting. There's still I know we have newer sellers that may not have the best lighting, but that's something to work on because there were a few places that were pretty dark and resin needs as much light as possible to bling. So you definitely need to have good lighting when showing resin because that's important to show because they're already um I didn't, but I wasn't paying specific attention to your lighting, but I'm going to go back in. I can tell you that I didn't have an issue seeing any of your work. I saw all of those sparkles, so that must be great. Yeah. So the other thing that I saw that, oh, reading the chat back, make sure you're paying attention to your chat. And I encourage everybody to go back and watch your show last night. What could you have done differently? Watch it from the viewpoint of being a buyer. What could I have done differently? What really worked well? What can I tweak? What you know, go through all of the things and make those changes for yourself. But also, if you have somebody out there that you trust, ask them, "Hey, will you watch my show for me and tell me what you think I could be doing differently?" So, yeah. I thought Caden did a good job of pointing stuff out. He's much nicer about how he says it. I don't mean to be not nice. I'm just passionate, and I think people may sometimes take that passion as being a little over the top. I love to help people out. So we're going to be starting a collaboration channel um, inside of the Resonators Discord. Words aren't wording anymore, guys. We're going to be starting that discussion in there. Very excited about that. I love collaborations and having a channel. EJ, perfect idea. And I can't think of anything else. I am going to be setting up a booster raid. If you guys, we need to get better about booster raids. Um, you never know when it comes to a time where you're doing something very ultra special and you really want to get that out to the resin community. Maybe you're doing a class that you think would be very, very good for people. Maybe you're doing a show for your birthday and it's a special celebration, or maybe you're doing your 1000 celebration show. Maybe you're having a hard time and you're struggling and you just need to get people in your room. This is what booster raids are for. We set up a show, we all raid into you, and it is meant to give you a boost. That being said, we only raided in this last weekend with a big show for our people with 8 people. I would love to see us raid in with about 20 people. So you can set up your own raid if you have a good following and you know you can bring in 8 to 10 people. Set up your own booster raid. We have the thumbnail in the booster raid channel on the Discord and drop your people into their show. Go in 10 minutes, 5 minutes before. It's such a simple and easy thing to do. Set up a show, call out your people with your broadcast, and then drop your people in. Tell them what you're doing. Hey, we're setting this up for Ray of Sunshine. Her uncle just passed away and she is traveling. So we want to do this booster raid on her first show coming back to drop in and say, tip her if you want to, but just go in, see her stuff. She's an amazing artist. She's going to be without income while she's traveling. And this is one of her ways of sustaining her family and her home. So we want to do that booster to help her out currently. I'm also accepting any suggestions for other boosters that we can do. I might do a booster raid for the kickoff show for, we have a little friend, her name is Crayon Eaters. That is a marine thing, by the way. She is not a resonator. I will be setting up a booster raid from my own site to raid into that show today because she's had to have a surgery and she's down and out for working. Her husband has had to take off of work to take care of their very small children. And so they're going to be without income, and that's going to affect them in the next couple of weeks to come. So we're doing one for her. There's a raid train for that today. In fact, there are 3 open spots if you want to, meet a whole new community of people. This is a good set of people to train with because they know a ton of people. A ton of people. And yeah, so there you go. She's going to start pouring. Oh, that's so awesome. Yeah, she's a really cool person and she's very supportive of the resin community. And there you go. She's going to be a future resonator. So I want to do a support for her. I want to be a support. I don't have any money, but if I can make a little something today, then I will do my best to get it to her. So that is all I have, guys. I am going to find somebody else to raid into. One spot. Oh, you filled 2 spots while I was on today. That's awesome. That is, hey, cheers to you with a little bit of pudding, a shot of pudding. A shot of pudding. A little shot of pudding with my spot of tea. Oh my gosh, I could not hold an accent in my head last night. I was all over the place. Yeah, there you go. Crafty. There you go. There's your spot filled. Absolutely. Can you all you need to do in that regard is how do you use it as a function? So let's just say this is one of my functional art pieces, okay? Which it probably will be one of my functional art pieces. Um, this is a jar. It has the grooves where it can actually be closed and it fits very tightly. This can be used for holding your beads. It can be used for holding any of your craft supplies. You could leave the lid off. You can use it as a pin holder. You can use it in your bathroom for Q-tips. There are so many ways that you can use this little jar for your, this is one of my first jars. This is where I learned that glitter goes to the bottom. This is where I learned to work on not letting your glitter be, don't let your glitter do what it wants to do. You be command of your glitter, okay? Um, so just talk about what the function is. Like if you think it has a function, then yes, I use glue now. If you think it has a function, then it's a functional art. It just can't be, this is like my wolves, for instance, don't serve any other purpose other than money earned for the wolves and being cute. It's just an art piece, right? It doesn't have a function. The mushroom, how do you explain this as a function? You can't really use anything. What are you sorry for? Um, it can't be used as, I mean, you can't even put a ring on this because it's too big. Like I can't come up with a purpose for showing this piece for that raid train. But jewelry, you wear it, you use it. Trinket dishes, jars, shelves, all of that stuff. Yeah. So trays are definitely a good use of functional art. I would probably try my best to come up with 5 different pieces. Like I wouldn't do 5 of those in a row. I would make sure that you have several different several different functional pieces, and then make sure that you have one that is geared towards selling to other or marketing to other sellers. Um no, it wasn't. I brought it up actually. I think I brought it up. So I opened the door to that. No, you're absolutely fine. It is today, and we do need to fill it. This is a resonator round topic discussion. This is not for me. This space, this show is set up for you guys to open the discussion up to anything that you want to talk about that is resin related or that affects our community. She's a future resonator. I don't see any problem with that. So definitely, this is your space, guys. Shout out your shows. You guys know, and I'll say it again. I'll say it again. You never have to ask me for permission to shout out your shows unless you're going live during my show or I'm on a raid train. If I'm on a raid train, that's probably inappropriate because there's rules to the raid trains, and that's poor etiquette. So, but you guys can always put your shows in my chats for sure. Hey, I got a show coming up this Friday. It's pretty special to me. Would you guys go bookmark? I'm perfectly fine with that, but never on a raid train. Yeah, never on a raid train because especially if it's somebody else's raid train. That is not acceptable because really you're riding their train. All right, guys. Let's see who is out there. You know what? I can't see who is out there. Is there anything I don't think it's a clay one. If we're talking about Crayon Eaters help show, it's multi-category, I think. But is there anybody? Can anybody go out there and see it in the resin category? I wish that I'm going to actually make that suggestion to Whatnot. Ask them if we can look, if they can find a way for us to look on the phone app for our specific category for a raid, because you can't do that on the phone. But you can do it if somebody else goes out and looks in the category and tells me who's on. Hint, hint. I hate that. Just blank. I hate those blank streams. Yeah. And they still have the ghost listing. I did report them. Euphoria's Emporium reported them. I think Grimm's reported them. So yeah. Okay, let's see if any of my other friends are on. If Olga Fines is on, she's such a sweet seller. Oh no. So oh yeah, Pike's Place. That's not I was thinking that was the dice maker. Okay. So we got under new sellers. We have heat transfers, beads, scrapbooking, jewelry making, quilters, lots of jewelry and heat transfers. This is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. Since there is nobody currently in the resin category that we can raid into, we're going to let, Lost Mermaids. She's not in the Resonators group, and I would love for her to be in the Resonator group. I think I've asked her, and I think I've sent her the link. So that would be, but she is such a sweet seller. I have some of her products. I mean, picking glass out of the sea and making the most amazing jewelry. Ah! But this is what I'm going to do because I'd already decided it. But thank you for bringing her name up because I do love her so much. Because we have this show going on, up and coming, I'm going to let Whatnot choose for me. And then we're just going to go make new friends. Because every now and then you should raid out to somebody who is not in the resin community, because it gives you that opportunity to shout out your show. They're going to say, "What do you do?" They're going to say, "Thank you for the raid." They're going to pin your name up. If you stay in your own category, you're going to only attract other resonators, right? So it's important. I try at least once a week to raid out to a different category if I can. That's what we're going to do right now. And be thinking when you see them, what functional art could I create for this seller? And how could you gear some of the things that you make to sell to them? Just a thought. All right, guys, we will see you soon. I will see you Friday. Oh, actually, I will see you 3 times today if you wanna come back on. 2 more times today. And then tomorrow night is my wolf show. I would love to have you guys in there for that. It's a wolf and baddie night. Please come in, and just tap the screen and have fun and look at my baddies because they're so cute. Um, and and the wolves. Come hear stories about my brother, because I love to have a full room of people who I can talk to about him. All right, guys, let's go raid out. Create a raid. Pick for me. Jump starter deals. Looks like a reseller. Let me go into their. Can I go into? I can't. Oh, it doesn't let me go in. Oh, well, it sounds like they're a restarter, but they are J. Crew and Madewell accessories and more. So accessories, some of us have jewelry holders. Some of us who also do paper could create stylish cards for their jewelry. Maybe you could make the number cards that, I don't know. Let's just see what we can do. All right, guys, rating out now. We'll see you later.